Latex that's going to be playing over. Fairly standard lineups for both of them. But the main key thing when it comes to comps is that FABRIKEN do not play without a Sage, which to a lot of people may consider suicide, but they make it work. But this is the finals, and I think this is still a pretty big gamble.
Cage triggered.
So far, no one's falling for any shenanigans. Dinks of that over towards A main. He's not going to get fragged early by the early aggression being shown. FABRIKEN 3 members there as we have a major movement over towards B itself. B has been taken over now. Wall to come through. Meadow will be blocked out. The retake will be blocked out. Plant should be coming on any second. 4 players on site, 1 playing offsite. Dinks for the lurk. It could be a very important member, pivotal member as Angel goes down.
Okay.
Dipan is one of the key players. Him versus Shao when it comes to who's going to be the MVP when it comes to the frags and the damage that he can do. Both of which have opened up the tabs. Dipan getting the kill onto the former. But Dinks is the one that's flanking all the way around and catching people off guard.
Nice try.
He's found 2 so far into this round. SSK as well, confirming onto Shadow Lols. The sole player now alive for FABRIKEN, still making his waves being felt. 3 now kills in his favor. Dinks will come through from the side. There's no way that Leo Deads can stick this one. He's running out of time. He's got to go for it anyway. Where's Dinks? Where are the shots coming through? How has he not managed to get this kill earlier? 3 kills for him as well. But it will be the defuse coming in. And that does mean that FABRIKEN, for all of that effort coming through from PartyParrots, the long rotations, the big lurk from Dinks, it's not going to be enough to win the round.
Did Dinks just not see him? He was so like calling it in. He must have heard defuse be touched, but he maybe thought that it was a bait. Real men don't bait, we know that much. And Leo Dead's getting a triple kill there really was the perfect start for FABRIKEN, as they will be defending first on a perceived attacking map. I think there's a lot more stats and info we can really get on the scent, but that came from the T1 coach Fraud, so you would expect him to have a good idea on what maps are attacking and defending sided. And great start for FABRIKEN. PartyParrots are going to be 2-phased, but it does mean that FABRIKEN will be able to get some of these nice specters like Latex has, and PartyParrots going to be using a couple of classics and shorties, I'd imagine.
No, well, you'd be surprised actually. You say they're not phased, but they're certainly fired up in terms of wanting to take this round. They've actually force-bought into this one. Everyone has got either Spectres or Bulldogs on the PartyParrots side. They managed to get 4 kills, mind you, so they have some money to work with. They're forcing it big time. Both teams do not have much in the bank, so the loser of this will eco for sure, and PartyParrots want to make sure it's not them. Ready to push on soon, as they're making their inroads towards mid. FABRIKEN don't quite know where the hit's going to come from yet. Latex will receive the bad news soon.
Latex is going to get pushed. Throws out the paranoia, but Artist could still get the spray in. B-site's been up with those 2 frags onto Zippin and Latex, and the plant is going to come in. With the small guns the PartyParrots had, the plant is still going to go down, and they have all of their members alive to protect it. And you can see just how well versed they are in holding these angles. It's going to be near enough impenetrable for FABRIKEN at this point.
And the only low member there is, of course, SSK, but he'll be healed up, you can imagine, soon. Sage still alive in terms of artists, and no Sage for FABRIKEN, no members now in terms of helping out Meadow, who's by himself. He might even get hunted down if he loses the Spectre. All he's got to work, and he finds the timing on artist, and that'll be 1 kill going his way. But if you are PartyParrots right now, do you go for this or not? Do you try and shut him down? I don't know why Artist was trying to move over towards the defender side spawn. Was he looking for information? Did he think that maybe he can challenge Meadow? He didn't even have his gun out, so probably not that. Round does still go over to PartyParrots, but not without losing 1 member here. FABRIKEN have unfortunately lost the anti-ego.
And I imagine the economy is not going to be ideal for them either, so it forces a very early save. They were probably feeling pretty good that they won out the first round, but really well done from PartyParrots to make something from near enough nothing. They're going to be able to pick up Bulldogs, a Phantom here or there. Their economy isn't ideal, but they're going to hold on to the guns that they had a hold of towards the end of the last round. FABRIKEN have to try and replicate what PartyParrots just did, it feels, on the defense.
Smoke's down.
Artist is going to walk into this one with just the Ghost available. Of course, he was the only casualty for PartyParrots on that second round, and he's not going to be buying into this round at all. The rest of PartyParrots are looking pretty healthy. They've got the guns to work with. Shadow Lols, by the way, playing very close up over towards A short with the shorty. If he can find a kill there, that would really start to slow things down for PartyParrots. Dinks somehow made his way all the way onto the upper wall, looking over towards A main. It will be an A hit. FABRIKEN will know this very soon because 2 players are pushed up into B. And now do we check the corners? We certainly do. It's a bit of a shot coming through, hitting Angel onto 8 HP no less, but they will be able to clear sight and make the way and plant on A now.
Spike is in cargo, it's just Leo Dead's left, and even before the spike can get planted, all of FABRIKEN are down. Shao leading the frags, only 1 death thus far, and like I said before, Zipan versus Shao when it comes to who's had the more consistently strong results. At this point, Shao had the higher KD and kills per round, but Zipan can't have been far behind, and his dominant performance against the semi-finalists was going to be sort of dividends to sort of add on top of that, because Ratvi could only do so much to contain him. But now PartyParrots need to do a similar thing to try and hone Zipan down and let Shao shine.
Well, Shao now, 1 off, I believe, from getting his ultimate there of the Hunter's Fury. He was just going to find an orb somewhere. You're hoping Angel can maybe get out of the situation, but as we know, Zipan, one of the highest players in terms of first bloods in the entire tournament so far. Zipan is just finding a lot of value over opening picks, and we've seen what can happen when Angel goes down early. No need to really, cast your mind back to what happened in the semi-finals, and whenever Angel goes down, PartyParrots might be in a rough situation. They still have consolidated 4 members, though. They've not managed to trade him to Zipan. In fact, he's on full HP, full armor. PartyParrots need to find some inroads somewhere.
A kill onto Angel has slowed them right down. Zipan is holding very passively on this angle, and you can see that Artist is going to push it a little bit, forces a resurrect, but the Hunter's Fury now is going to be used on the defense, taking a pot shot as to where exactly Artist is, but he survives. Doesn't take much damage at all, and that's a big ultimate that hasn't really got an awful lot of use considering the circumstances.
Took 0 damage. Both Artist and Angel got to get out of that situation unharmed, unscathed. They've reset this entire situation now. 20 seconds, the only thing that works against them is the time they need to push in soon. They need to push in now. There will be Latex to receive the aggression. The paranoia is brilliant, but can they get the kills? They lose their ad. That's a big play to lose at this stage in the game. It's just get traded. That's only 1 though. 2 members alive now. Still just enough time to plant. And these 2 last guys from FABRIKEN, Shadow Lols and Meadow, are they going to be in position to try and move over towards the site?
PartyParrots' map control to get that aggressive execute on was superb, taking it through mid, through the marketplace. There wasn't really a good place for FABRIKEN to hold, and just ended up getting traded through multiple crossfires. Looking to be a save, get out of there, and you can see that PartyParrots are going to hunt for those guns. They know how important the economy is in a game like this. And you can see, with all of the experience that Angel has, he's probably commanded his team to follow him, and they understand how pivotal and important this is. And they could run into the Shadow here, playing the breach on this corner.
Oh, Shadow Lols is tucked in really tight. He dodged out all of that wallbang fire. He will find contact versus Shao and clean it up subsequently as well. We should now be able to have 2 surviving members here of FABRIKEN moving over towards the next round, number 5 now. So do have a couple rifles. Importantly, Meadow and Shadow Lols are going to be the big players to watch out for in this particular round, because the rest of these members of Latex, Leodids, and Zipan will be forcing up just a little bit. In fact, I think if you want to be a good team player, maybe Meadow should even give up his rifle to Zipan just to make sure he can continue being that big player, big impact player for the team.
Okay.
But he does have showstoppers, so might want to pull it out very aggressively. Fire it into mid, try and grab a gun from that angle, but it seems he's going to be a little bit more passive, as understandably so, to be fair. It's going to be a bit of a tussle in mid, and Zipan's already taken a lot of damage. He's down to pretty much 30 health. And Angel's just going to keep spamming, catching anybody that wants to peek it, but you can just see how much PartyParrots are bullying FABRIKEN now. They're on the back foot and having to give up a lot of ground.
You say having to play passive here, he'll have to do more than that now. He'll have to back right out of that situation. Can't even peek, doesn't even want to be in the smoke. No Sage on this team, once again, as a reminder, means no heals. He's going to be in a rough situation. If he pulls the showstopper out, he will die in 1 hit. The real risk now is, even if you do ult, you'll have your ult shut down. So, he has to be late entry. He has to try and trade, or at least maybe try and be the bait for the rest of his team. Meadow goes down as well, and PartyParrots are on their way on towards A. 4 for the retake, and they're coming in slow.
Retake especially with how Angel aggressively pushing, gets the collateral onto Shadow and Zipan. They lined up so nicely for him. Just Latex and Leo that's now left. It seems that they're not going to be saving this time. They want to keep pushing towards it, put a bit more pressure onto Angel, who gets his third. Now it's just hunting for the Sova. Last alive, doesn't get much done, but that's a stinger kill. 2 kills. That's just added in a ton of damage, but it's probably going to back out after he gets his third. Actually, no, could very well go for this.
He's running out of time, though. That's the only issue. He'll find maybe one more kill if he's lucky. He's waiting to maybe find a position where the rest of the PartyParrots between SSK and Shao walk into his line of sight. Nobody's going to do that. SSK is going to fall back through the spawn side. Shao is already over towards the real hard backside of mid, and both teams will wave goodbye to each other for round number 5 as we enter number 6. Well played by Leo. Did 3 kills for him in total for that. Angel as well managed to pick up enough kills to challenge up his orbital strike going into this round as well. So both teams really well equipped. Shadow Lol should be buying up as well. This will be a proper gun round.
This is going to be a pretty brutal run for both sides, but PartyParrots are nicely in control. Angel leading by example. There's a reason why I guess a lot of Europeans fawn over this player. It's nice to see him in the Valorant scene, and he's was involved in the G2 tournament. Did pretty well there, but he's going to be put under a little bit of pressure now as PartyParrots going to be firing out the Hunter's Fury again from distance, not catching out anybody really at all. FABRIKEN looking fairly unfazed, just trying to chip in a bit of damage to catch somebody out aggressive.
Shadows traveling.
Latex is playing patient right now. He has no idea that he's about to be surrounded. Considering popping through the paranoia, he'll want to stay alive for that one. The eventual push will be coming in any second now. Look at that flank as well. Angel has found a great position. This will surely be a kill onto an unknowing Leo Deads. He'll be going down any second now. Leo Deads is in a really strange position. Angel hasn't seen this yet. I believe Leo is tucked in, so Angel's gonna need to look out for this one. He gets taken down by Latex super early. Now the crossfire is going to be deadly. Leo Deads, unspotted, is going to be the one to pick up 4. That is insane.
And I think that only really happened because Latex got that kill onto Angel. It was just like a boiling pot because they were wrapping round with his 2-pronged attack. But Latex killing Angel there took the attention away from that corner. And I guess the people who were pushing in onto the B side were like, well, Angel was around there. Surely that corner was cleared. But not at all. Latex just mows him down easily. Not really known to be the one to get all of the frags of FABRIKEN, but he'll take them.
Huge round by Leo Deads once again. 10-4 now, his scoreline. He has had a very quiet semi-final. Overshadowed by both Shadow Lols and Japan, but now onto Ascent. He's making his mark. 4K in that previous round, courtesy of Latex setting up that kill, setting up that crossfire, setting up the distractions as well. PartyParrots technically still lead this one. They had 4 rounds in a row that they won after winning the anti-eco, or rather being on the eco themselves. They won the eco, but they still haven't saved yet. Shadow Low is unable to find the opening kill. SSK and will be punished.
Showstopper is going to be used though aggressively on this corner. Is not going to actually catch anybody. Angel just holding on the corner nicely, and he even gets a pick onto Latex for his troubles. He's going to just bunny hop out of there, pull out the knife or the axe to make sure he's at a safe distance. But now pressure going to be put in on towards where Zipan is. He's smoked off, so there is going to be a bit of a concealed shot in, but SSK is going to cover that ground. The camera is also taken out. Meadows holding onto the site in near darkness.
Japan dies through smoke, and Meadow holds down the line. Able to pick up 2 kills there, 22 HP. It's still enough to try and challenge Artist, who gets really low. Heals himself back up now. 3 players alive, make it 2. Tanks falls here, and this is now a little bit more difficult for PartyParrots, but they still do have the advantage. Leo Deads by himself. Hunter's Fury is available. He will try and stop the plant with this Hunter's Fury. Will tag up one player, but I think Artist might just be able to dance around this one. He healed himself back up. Now I'm on to low HP again, just a 30 HP. Could not disrupt this plant. Leo Deads is going to have to do this one the hard way. If anyone's going to do it, it will have to be Leo Deads, because look at him so far. He's been the top player. Gets one, can't get a second, and Artist saves the day.
There was so much to do there.
Ooh, cage triggered.
One of the problems, I suppose, that they ran into, that they couldn't use the utility to their greatest strengths, and they were hit from the side. Zipan using a showstopper was a big loss too. 2 and 6, so he really hasn't warmed up to the occasion just yet, and really needs to, as everybody on PartyParrots very much warmed up after their semi-final and seemed to be firing on all cylinders.
Well, Shadow Lols wasn't able to get the opening frag last time with his operator. Dies to SSK, and he may be peaked now by the Cypher of the other side. Dinks is just trying to test the waters here with the Cyber Cage, just drawing a bit of attention to players posted up over towards A main. 3 members of this attack, though, for PartyParrots, now trying to walk up, deciding if they want to take the archway in towards market, in towards pizza for mid, or if it's going to be a short A push instead.
It's really tough for FABRIKEN. It seemed to give up a lot of mid control, and from there, they're not really sure how to hold off these executes. But now the bulk of PartyParrots moving over towards Cubby. Zipan is holding an angle again. What's better success than last time? The SSK is going to be the main initiator, first contact. They're about to run into each other, but it's actually Shadow with the operator that gets the frag, backs out completely, but Artist trades onto Zipan.
Your duty is not over.
Unfortunately, that close angle being held by Zipan not going to work out for him. As soon as Shadow Lols gets out of that situation, Zipan is not going to have a lot of fun here. Overall, not overall strike, Rolling Thunder being applied by both teams. Nice response by PartyParrots, by the way, not to lose too much time there running away, and that is going to be the overall strike that allows a little bit of distraction, and the kills are coming on through now. Middle and Shadow Lols for more. Shadow Lols for 3 in total, and Artist Blast on alive. Not going to be able to do too much here. 4 on the board for Shadow. We're going to make this one a competitive first half. FABRIKEN picking up a 3rd round.
This is everything that you hoped for. It's still really jarring to see an operator player also playing Breach, but it worked super well for Shadow in all of the stages of the tournament so far, notably in the semis versus Ratvi. He's just sort of keeping up. Again, want to see more out of Zipan. He's a player that people have been highlighting. He is one of the standout raises, not only in Europe, but in the world, for those that don't know. Certainly keep an eye on him. PartyParrots, just name a play and I can tell you how good they are. Certainly when it comes to Breach, SSK is one of the best in the world. But this is a proper matchup with Shadow. They play it very differently, but they're both Breach masters.
Trick shots.
Well, Dinks is down early now. That's the 2nd time he's taken that position. Again, just able to get himself up on towards that wall. Meadow will find that out, and also just check locations of everyone else to the neural theft. The only problem is using the neural theft this early. The only information you get is, yes, there's 4 people in mid, but there's always going to be 4 people in mid. The attackers are always going to take mid. This is an attacker-sided map where mid control is always going to be available and taken by the attacking side. And at this point in time, the neural theft does not at all tell you which site they're going to hit.
You can see from the playstyle, the PartyParrots aren't really in this bully playstyle anymore. They're not grouping up and congregating and just brute forcing for a choke. They're taking this very carefully because they're kind of mostly scared of the operator, I feel, and Zipan wherever he's going to be holding. So they have to be careful with every channel that they peek. Latex is going to paranoia the doorway, but I don't really think catches much. His positioning given away, but most importantly, Zipan's was he gets caught out by Shao, and they're moving in onto the B side.
Oh, this could be Spike on the floor. Indeed it is. Latex has done enough here. He's done more than enough. 3 kills is going to be just what the doctor ordered. Shao is going to pick up that prescription right there. Spike, the ability to be planted. He thinks about sticking it, but doesn't quite have the time. Challenges Shao, and loses that challenge handily. Meadow is going to be able to be one of the survivors here. Now, taking another look at this spray transfer onto Angel's head. Does not know what hit him. 1 more round now available and on the board for FABRIKEN as we hit the 4 to 5 mark of the first 9 rounds.
Everybody's having an opportunity to clutch up for FABRIKEN. A lot of multi-kills coming in. They are a team that plays as a team. Granted, Zipan is like the person that they play around. Recently from Ninjas in Pajamas, wasn't a Raze player then, but I think FABRIKEN were onto something, put this player on a very aggressive agent, and has been one of the most profitable people there. But everybody's now showing up and showing that they can rise to the occasion of a final, most certainly against experienced tactical players like PartyParrots. But don't forget the PartyParrots have a very young roster too, other than Angel. So they're probably a bit nervous for this this final too, because this is a big game for both parties. Not just the money on the line, but the clout and getting your name out there for potential organizers to find you and sign you.
Sign on mark now over towards this A site push as SSK is going to open the count onto Latex. Previously, he was able to hold the fort there. Triple kill over towards the site itself, and the wall now to lock out a response coming through from the market. This will enable the plant to come in. It will be a 4 versus 5 on the retake as FABRIKEN. They just won the last round. In fact, they won the last 2 in a row. They want to make it 5 and 5, but they need a player kill to go their way to even up the numbers.
FABRIKEN let that one go. Only one person died onto the B side, but now they're going to go onto a more aggressive retake. But even then, they use the aftershock, but don't really push it any further. The good thing is, I suppose, is that PartyParrots are all backed into a corner, so to speak, but there's no orbital strike, there's no ultimate that's going to scare them out. Rolling Thunder isn't ready for Shadowlulls. So they're just taking pot shots. Nobody's really peeking them other than Artist that just seems to run across for some crazy reason. But FABRIKEN are just almost getting exit frags at this point. They can't really engage onto it. There's no time.
Well, they got perfect exit frags. They got enough here. They got 3 players down. The last 2 surviving. SSK with his mini axe, so that'll be dropped on the ground for sure. Shao, the only surviving member now. So considering how that went for PartyParrots, and this is the kind of key thing to remember here, they didn't have a lot of money. So the fact that 4 people died, this next buy for them, despite winning the last round, is not at all comfortable. Some of them will not have armor. The ones that do have armor may not have full utility. Some of them may not even have the proper weapons. Dinks has to buy up the Guardian, not the best weapon in the game right now. FABRIKEN, considering the position they were in, got the best out of a poor situation, and they actually come out pretty far ahead, at least in terms of the money.
Shadowlulls using the typical operator spot by looking onto Cubby. Nobody's going to check him, but Zipman is just running in. He gets a double kill. Artist does take him down with a Bulldog, but they know exactly where these rushing Russians are coming from, and they're going to stem him. Artist is going to have another resurrect, the 3rd in this game so far. 10 rounds in, brings back Shao, who does have the Hunter's Fury, and also able to frag out when necessary.
Neurotheft is going to show that there's a reasonable, generous spread here. 2 members over towards A, 2 towards B as well. With 1 minute and 4 seconds left, PartyParrots do not need to really contest anywhere just yet. There it is. They already knew Leo Deads was back there, so I guess just confirming more information, and the information not maybe being as accurate as they thought, because that is going to be an extra kill going the way of FABRIKEN. So for PartyParrots, they're starting to really feel the pain now. Again, not a lot of money coming into this round. Less money now if they don't win it. 42 seconds and not a lot of inroads.
So you're going to take this very slowly. Every crevice of the map seems to be watched by FABRIKEN, but there is a bit of space being made towards Cubby. It's something that Shadow needs to watch out for, and there's narrow sightlines too, the operator, which could be caught out, but Meadows keeping a keen eye on the map. They're making their way in, they know pretty much where they are. So swapping between 2 spy cams, which is like, almost like an observer tool almost, but Meadows has forced to back off, and the wall is going to push him back. They really need to stall this, there's only 12 seconds on the clock, and the spike hasn't been planted yet.
They need to do it ASAP. It finally goes down. Artis is going to be the one that is going to enable this one. He's still healing back up. He's got no armor. The Rolling Thunder for sure is just going to be enabling this push to make the retake simple. They'll take down Artis instantly because he's exposed. The last member here, Dinks, hiding inside the smoke. He'll have his position revealed. He got kind of panicked there. He didn't need to start shooting. Yes, he copped a few bullets inside the smoke, but that was just, I guess, free shots being pushed up by FABRIKEN. They didn't know that he was in there. And Dinks reveals his own position and dies because of it. So PartyParrots will now be in a position where it'll be eco or force, and well, the force is the decision.
They've got to, it's the last round of this half, so buy what you can, use what you can. You're not taking it with you when you switch over to the other side. FABRIKEN have been much more stalwart in the latter half of this half, at least. 4 rounds out of 6 on this defense. It seems now that they have PartyParrots' number. And it's just how quickly or how able they are to stem this aggressive push that could be coming out. That stun is good. It makes it difficult for Shadowlulls to dodge this Hunter's Fury, but does manage to survive it. Artist is going to push it a little bit more. They take him out, and that's the operator play down.
And he only had 70 HP anyway. He barely survived, and now it'll be massive inroads for PartyParrots to get their way on towards A. This should surely be a plant. In fact, SK goes down to Zapan's rocket there, so the showstopper making the connections it needs to. This plant has been very significantly slowed down. Looking to see if there would be any possibility for Shao to get something done towards the flank. Latex is not going to be able to get much over towards his, and this is going very, very quickly the way of PartyParrots went. To be fair, they had barely any equipment to come in, Ryan, and FABRIKEN will not secure number 6, even though the buy looked so good. The buy looked so shoddy for PartyParrots, and even then it didn't matter.
That synergy, though, between the fault line coming out of SSK and then the Hunter's Fury from Shell to catch out completely Shadow Lulz, because they knew that he had the operator, that's where he likes to play. They stunned him, they used the ult, they caught him off guard, and then they gave chase. Even though the ultimate didn't necessarily get the kill, the push then aggressively went onto him because they knew that he wanted to disengage, and it was probably the easiest kill that they could get on him, and it opened up the A site completely. FABRIKEN weren't sure which way was up. The retake was a good attempt, but at that point, PartyParrots had full control. Now they are the defended team. Let's see how well FABRIKEN can take mid control, because it's so pivotal when it comes to attacking on this site.
Heads up play by PartyParrots will award them a 2-round lead now. They want to continue that lead. They'll have to try and win this pistol, because otherwise, FABRIKEN, you can imagine, will be able to close that gap to a 7-7 themselves. Big push over towards A. So going to be Dinks, though. Dinks needs to be able to trade this one effectively. He'll get one, he confirms spike on the floor, but this is going the way of FABRIKEN very quickly. Major kills in their favor. Door will be closed as well shortly. Shao barely manages to scrape through that door, but instantly taken down, and you can imagine this is going to be a FABRIKEN win.
Unless SSK pulls out something wonderful on the 4 surviving members of FABRIKEN, positioning given up as the glass is broken, and the fault line is going to hit everybody below the site too to make sure that nobody peeks out. But regardless, that's what happens. Zipan gets his third. A very quiet, lukewarm, and subtle map, I suppose, that's Zipan on the defense, but already he started their attack off with very much a big bang, as to be expected from any Raze player.
And now the shorties for Shao and SSK. PartyParrots have now definitely lost what was a 2-round lead. This is, you can imagine, has to be FABRIKEN coming up for a second round in a row for this particular half. 7 the scoreline will surely be. Don't think these shorties will be super effective here. SSK will be holding a tight angle over towards A short, and aggressive movements you can see as well. Look at Shao, he's decided to push up quite a fair bit into mid. He's hiding in the smoke. Even if anybody from FABRIKEN doesn't really have heads-up play against this, they'll maybe be surprised, and that could be a kill.
And SSK is going to try and help him out, set up a bit of a crossfire potentially.
Hey.
Zipan is the one that kills onto Shell. They just needn't to not be traded, as Leoded actually picks up a couple of kills towards the A site, so that's going to open up. The Shadow Lulz needs to be careful on his right-hand side, as that's where SSK, the last surviving member, is going to be. He's going to be fine, though, and it means that the score goes level, as both teams are going to be able to buy some big guns right now. And there's a showstopper available for Zipan.
So flawless there for FABRIKEN. They don't need to really look for repurchases at all. Zipan, I think, actually went for an upgrade, I believe. He decided to buy up into the Phantom, if I'm not mistaken there. PartyParrots really impatient, unfortunately. FABRIKEN just waiting for the aggression to come on through. Leodeds with the massive 2K over towards A lobby, where FABRIKEN will now make movements towards A. They're going to rush into this one. They know they need very close-up, close-range engagement. That's how they're going to make these Spectres really work for the team. And look out for that one rifle they have available. Zipan has to be the player of this particular round.
Teams of FABRIKEN are going to let their presence known. They're ready to go with the fault line, and even the boom ball, the grenade, even the showstopper. It's all been dedicated as they try to catch out this last member. The ultimate wasn't even needed, but that flash is good to allow Zipan to get a second kill as Olympics adds onto it with SSK. Unfortunately, Shao is there to the rescue, along with Artiste, to try and get off this retake. But these executes from FABRIKEN have been electric.
Good Shadow. Shadow's in position as well to catch all the rotators. Speaking about electric right now, it's a thunderbolt straight into the heart of PartyParrots, who only have the one alive now. And they had the guns this round as well. They will not be looking for very comfortable purchases at all. In fact, I'm pretty sure PartyParrots will be forced to eco. Shell will have the only weapon available. He'll try and stay alive. If FABRIKEN have done enough, they won't hunt him down. It'll be too risky. Neither side wants to have any more casualties in this round. And off the back of a very fast A take, full aggression, full confidence, and opening shots being connected beautifully by Zipan. Again, the player we needed to see pop up, pop off, and he's able to do both.
The right time and place too. You often wonder when you see these kind of players come in and you go, maybe it takes a map or two for them to really pick up, but only half a map for Zipan, who's now one frag behind Leodeds, who was going crazy towards the start of this game on Haven, on Ascent, sorry. Thinking of Pastures New, maps where we may go in the future, but there's not going to be any Haven actually in this best of 3. Bind and split, and there are maps after this if we go that far, of course. But no ultimates available from both sides, so this is going to be awkward for PartyParrots on this defense, but they have some aces up their sleeves that I feel can easily catch out FABRIKEN. But it's just, can they keep up with this freight train momentum that FABRIKEN seem to be running with right now?
Yeah, it does seem it'll be difficult to be able to contend. We're back onto shotguns for SSK, and, well, I mean, difficult to contend is exemplified by the fact that Leodiz just instantly picks up another 2. It's exactly what we saw a couple rounds ago. Patience being shown by this overplayer, waiting for the aggression to come on through. SSK's playing the same angle as well. He didn't catch anybody last time with the shorty. He's got a Bucky. Similar effectiveness at this kind of range. He might get 1. We'll see how this looks, and he gets 0. I think he's just panicked. He saw the owl drone, didn't know what to do about that one, as Zapata is able to easily now move on over towards A. FABRIKEN might even get a flawless here.
Ooh, Angel catches Zip and shoots him right in the back of the skull. Plant still goes down, and the Paranoia is going to sharply miss, but Artist is now bringing up the numbers to a 2 versus 3. Angel's going to be pushed a little bit, but he's a scary person to go up against, even if it is a 1 versus X. It is a 1 versus Angel, but eventually Shadows takes him out. It's just going to be Artist from Cubby. I don't imagine he's going to go for this. Hold on to the very nice Phantom that he has a hold of and just back out and hold on to whatever guns he can, because FABRIKEN now is starting to pull a bit of a lead.
Alright, so not quite the flawless as I was thinking about there for FABRIKEN, and indeed maybe they were considering the flawless until certainly Angel popped open the door for PartyParrots to maybe get a couple of frags, and Artist will now quietly slip through that same door, close it behind him, turn off the lights, and try and hide under the sheets now, walking into that next round with the only rifle available before everyone around him purchases them up. But as you can see, look at the money here. Everyone is very, very poor except for Artist, and that is the major problem for PartyParrots right now.
And bear in mind that FABRIKEN aren't running a Sage. I feel like it's some PSA that I need to keep mentioning, because you just go, what? It's like, I know like chat's in emote mode, so it's kind of like Dan's game. What? Like, it doesn't make any sense why people would be running without Sage, but you just don't notice it with these guys. They're so good on their individual agents that they make the necessary need of a Sage completely null, because they're so good on the Sova, so good on the Breach, and that double initiator playstyle comp that you don't see anywhere else works so well for FABRIKEN that I think it should really change people's mind on how good Sage actually is. It's crazy.
Well, yeah, well, the thing is, Sage has been considerably nerfed. That's the thing that people need to remember, but the heal is still good. The wall is still especially good for pistol rounds and any rounds where you just need to block off a side of the map. Resurrection is great as well, but I think we're getting into the stage of the game now where maybe she's not a 100% pick, and I mean, this is exemplified by FABRIKEN really agreeing with that sentiment. Artist, who is playing the Sage, now walling up as we look towards the defense of the B site, and Spike's still in mid for now.
FABRIKEN taking the time. They don't have any fancy ultimates to throw down. Make some space, so they're going to have to do that very naturally. Meadow and Zipan are pushing in onto B, who are not really aware of it, but Shao, the operator, gets the kill onto his silver counterpart, but has a lot more pressure on mid, as Latex and Shadow are going to be pushing up towards him. It forces him to rotate towards B as the push starts to come in. Latex is going to get stunned, but fights with Paranoia, and it's a hell of a battle happening here on B.
Shao's done a hell of a job as well. He's holding down the fort over towards the defender side of Spawn. Latex got the front. He'll be disrupted here by Angel. They did not clear the site. They ran out of time. They were panicked. They were desperate. And Angel fed on that entirely. He fed on that fear. For FABRIKEN now, that will be the win streak over as PartyParrots finally pick up 1 on this half.
Doesn't mean that FABRIKEN's economy is still going to be fine. Shadow Lords can still pick up the operator, for example, and buy full armor. They have the Showstopper and Hunter's Fury to go on this attack for the ultimates. Not really too much available for PartyParrots when it comes to ult either, but I think this orbital strike is going to be well placed. Angel has been so good with knowing exactly how to use these ultimates to create space, to get a frag, to not get picked off himself. I would expect something genius coming out of him here too.
Very defensive opening coming through from FABRIKEN this round. Weren't really showing much. I don't think that recon bolt revealed anybody either. Quickly shot down by probably Latex, who's entry fragging right now with the team. He's actually got the spike in hand, so maybe he doesn't want to be the first one pushing on through. SSK holding the predictable angle over towards the glass room. Just seeing if anyone wants to be able to peek him. Note that he can't hug that left hand wall anymore. That's got boxes there now, as you can see. Barrel. Courtesy of patch 1.02 as Ryan, we're maybe thinking about pushing into A.
They stalled it completely. The Hunter's Fury, though, doesn't really catch too much for PartyParrots or Shell, but it does buy a little bit of time. Latex is just maybe going to force a rotate around, but SSK isn't taking his eyes off the birdie here. They're holding on and making sure that the rotate's going to be a strong execute. I imagine Zipan is just going to brute force it with a showstopper. Maybe Hunter's Fury all the way from A long to catch across the site. And that's exactly what's going to happen. He executes a go.
Prepare for hellfire.
Zipan find an opening here. SSK is so close. If he just finds the right timing here, he's going to do a ton of damage. Flashes onto multiple members. Instantly swings onto Latex, but cannot confirm the kill over towards Shadow Lols, who will confirm it back on towards him instead. But it's Angel who is still out and available, doing all the work necessary to close out this round for PartyParrots, evening up the scoreline 9-9.
PartyParrots have done so well of just stopping the sheer momentum of FABRIKEN, making them stall for 20-30 seconds, forcing FABRIKEN to make plays like that, and that's where mistakes come from. The showstopper catches absolutely nobody, and it's unfortunate for FABRIKEN. It can't really get a clean shot onto the site. Time runs out, and PartyParrots can punish that, and Angel is just so accustomed to playing around that. He's absolutely reeling from these situations. It's where he thrives.
Well, the veteran of this team with a young squad otherwise, he's top fragging now. His veterancy is shining through quite brightly as well, as we do have a bit of a pause here, maybe just solving some player connectivity issues. Taking a little bit of a breath to recognize where we are in this game right now, right? It's exactly 9-9 so far. Kills are roughly even as well. No one's really far behind. Dinks is only on to 8, but Latex is only on to 9. So across the board, both teams in terms of the score lines, player, KDs, the money is, or maybe the money's not quite even. That's probably the only part that's not even, right?
Really hard to say what direction this is going. PartyParrots seem to have FABRIKEN's number now on the last 2 rounds. The total 6 on this attack. FABRIKEN do have ultimates to work with. They still have economy, but they would be forced to save if they do lose this upcoming round, and would lose the lead that they've done so well to try and build up and take away from PartyParrots. Game is no longer unpaused. The game is no longer paused, sorry. The A site is looking to be hit fairly hard from FABRIKEN as they stack up. And I think the Rolling Thunder might be used as entry, or maybe just a Hunter's Fury to catch out somebody that's holding onto it. But I think PartyParrots are prepared. There's 3 people there waiting for them.
I don't know if Dink saw anybody, because so far they've not called for a rotation. In fact, Angel's made his way over towards mid. They've completely floundered and kind of just left A open at this sort of point. FABRIKEN will walk on through now. Flashes in tow as well. Latex will find SSK immediately, and finally now it'll be Angel trying to make his way through. Not going to be the hero of this round. Latex shuts him down. 3 versus 5 situation. It's also else available for FABRIKEN as well. Plant now coming on through, and PartyParrots have to reconsider their approach.
Through all of the cages and flashes, FABRIKEN do make their way through. Latex getting the double kill there and has his ultimate, but I'm not really sure what he'd use it for. Artist is going to make his way in. These smokes have been pivotal from the Omen player. Zipan even adding on to the frags that he already has. Shao and Dinks are in mid. They're not looking to move or retake. They've got some pretty expensive guns. The economy isn't ideal for them. It's not bad, but it's not great either. So they're just going to hold on to the big guns, literally, and accept this loss as FABRIKEN go 10-9 up.
And just a poor read, and maybe an unfortunate, unlucky read there coming through from Dinksy. Peeks on through, either doesn't see anybody or doesn't see enough. And off the back of that, Angel leaves A, goes to mid. 2 players are still already at mid. You've got only 2 defenders anchoring A now. And then FABRIKEN strike. They're rushing through all 5, and PartyParrots are far too late to really comprehend the situation. Not enough members alive. Artist goes in and dies as well. It's a bunch of repurchases. They had a reasonable opportunity to maybe go for a retake if they could find a couple of opening picks or something. And now we head into round number 20 on the board, and it's still fairly neck and neck overall.
Even with frags, they seem fairly easy, or even, sorry. The double operator play is going to be pretty exciting as they have a bit of a crossfire towards mid. Latex again just trying to make stuff work on A, trying to catch to see if anybody's in his smoke, but Angel is the one that gets first blood onto Shadow. It's going to be a kill towards B, but Zipan can trade out, but Dinks is there to sort of protect the surviving members of PartyParrots. It's just going to take pot shots towards where the spike is so they can pick it up. But so far, this is going really well for PartyParrots.
Speaking of picking up, no one can pick it up at all because the flank coming through from Artis has been phenomenal. He's now got full eyes on the spike itself. Two members are absolutely not here. PartyParrots don't know where the last two guys are. Latex is taking pot shots over towards A, so maybe the information given over now. SSK is thinking, okay, at least one is here. He's seen it with his own eyes. He's confirmed it. Does a collapse happen? Will they try and get these two kills? They know there's no spike there, so this will be, unfortunately for FABRIKEN, not the round that goes their way unless they can maybe get a couple of kills starting with SSK.
They're trying to really get this frag onto SSK, who's just holding his ground. His job is to just keep there, keep their attention. Even sort of sticks his leg out to try and sort of keep them just trying to fight him. It's a completely pointless fight from the side of FABRIKEN. It doesn't matter if they win it or not. They're just trying to give SSK a hard time, but he's holding his own. Lead that's going to give it up, and Cam's going to run out before Plant can come in. Still nothing to separate these two teams. 10-all.
I think the problem is they didn't know where Leo Deads is. They'll know now for sure. So will they try and take the gun out of his hands? If Leo tries to push this one, he'll die. I'm almost guaranteed that one shall is going to be the one to pick it up. And the reason why PartyParrots weren't trying to collapse onto Latex, who was making his way over onto A main, is because, again, they did not know where Leo was. As soon as they didn't know where Leo was, they started to leave the spike.
Wow, this is a nice spot.
Double operator working pretty decently for PartyParrots. Keeping the mostly one-shot guns in multiple places that FABRIKEN aren't sure how to approach that, as a boost is attempted on the A site for Dinks.
And failed.
And for SSK, and it failed, yeah. But again, this play is sort of coming in from FABRIKEN, pushing onto A, but just the momentum isn't there as much. It's a bit of a bait, considering the spike and the surviving remaining members of FABRIKEN are over on B.
Prepare for hellfire.
A little surprised that they decided to swap places between Dinks and SSK, but A's not where we're going to push anyway. It's over towards B, and this is where we could see a couple players in heavy trouble. Shao got tagged up by the Rolling Thunder and subsequently taken down by Zipan, traded now by Dinks, but still be open. It's going to be smoked up as well. No entry here to be found for Dinks, and PartyParrots just want to be able to group up as three as they walk in.
They have a rolling thunder on this defense. It seems that SSK is going to try and line it up, so FABRIKEN need to be prepared for this, brace themselves and spread out as much as possible. Seems to only really catch Shadow as they very quickly actually move on to the side, but Meadow Latex are able to get the practice. It's just going to be Angel left alive, but Leo Deads from off the site comes into the rescue and brings FABRIKEN back the lead.
I think the idea was good there. They really wanted to play off the Rolling Thunder, then flash onto the site itself. However, maybe the other way around would have been slightly more effective. They needed to clear the back, or they needed to clear the side of Boat, really. If they can get Boat under control, then they can Rolling Thunder onto the site itself. But they didn't know where the last few players were. Are they hiding close up? Are they playing close angles? Is there maybe even someone looking towards being made? Or is it going to be everyone playing post-plant on the site itself? It was a latter result, as we saw in that one, unfortunately. It's not going to be a very successful retake. FABRIKEN now losing one member, opening up on this round.
Dinks' position in this cut-off. They know where he is. They can put a lot of pressure on him. The showstopper is used, and it catches him all the way from downtown. Zipan trades for Latex and the teammate, and even gets a kill onto SSK that was holding very close too. Boombot's going to clear a lot of space, and the punch should come in, especially now that Shao with the operator was taken down.
If anyone's going to be responsible for pulling FABRIKEN across the finish line, it will be Zipan right now. He had a very slow start, 3 kills this round so far. When I say slow start, that first half for him, I'm pretty sure he was bottom fragger for many rounds in a row. He is well and truly the top fragger now, 19 overall. Top fragger on the server as well. The next best is Angel and Leo Deads, 17 apiece. And this is now FABRIKEN getting 12 for sure. map point. PartyParrots, if they had a couple more members alive, I'm sure the resurrection would be used by artists and they would go for a 3v4 or even a 4v4 play. But FABRIKEN right now off the back of Zapan on this attack, who's been absolutely on fire. FABRIKEN look like they cannot be stopped.
They want to close this one out, though. They don't want it to be any closer than it needs to be. And you could tell just how scared Artist is at losing this gun. Backing off to one of the literal corners of the site. Make it so difficult. And thankfully, the economy is still good for PartyParrots to keep involved. A bit of a force in some aspects, perhaps. But the money should be decent if it... Yeah, everybody can get what they need. And they have the Resurrect too, just in case it is required. But other than that, no ultimates are going to be coming online recently, unless there's a big multi-kill. There should be a Hunter's Fury able to come for Leo Deads at some point, but it's only Meadow that has the ult with the Neural Theft.
So 19 was Zapan's score before he got the last 2 picks there, so actually 21 will be his scoreline right now. 21 with 16 death. He's been leading the way in terms of frags. And if you thought there was going to be a map where Zapan doesn't hit 20, well, you're wrong, because he's definitely going to be getting those regular 20 bombs on what could now be the last round as well. Secure the orb over towards Leo Deads, making sure the Hunter's Fury is available. Now they have the tools. Now they have the capability. They just have to play up against the Resurrection, the one tool that they can never have on their team without playing a Sage. Plenty of time still to figure out how they want to approach the attack.
Checking for a peek potentially from PartyParrots, but they have been very reserved in their playstyle of not being over aggressive unless they have reinforcement or utility to use. There's no false steps here. Nobody's going to step out of line, and I think that's more of a problem for FABRIKEN now. So Hunter's Fury is available. The op got picked up, but they are stacked and ready for this execution to come in. Nobody set foot in there just yet, but it seems to be a go time.
Great timing on the smoke, but it will be disrespected. Latex is pushing it on through, and they are getting the kill somehow, some way, off the back of the Hunter's Fury as well. Zapan has got a multi on this already. He's responsible for 2, and they are walking through smokes, walking through the Molotov, walking through the slow orbs. They do not care about any of the utility thrown their way, coming through from PartyParrots, and it will be done. It will be over, and it will be flawless for this last round. FABRIKEN 13-10.